You've been trying to pass a prop firm challenge and it just seemed like you can't get over the edge. You get close to the profit target and proceed to fail, or even worse, you've never been close to the profit target. That's normal. I went from blowing thousands of dollars in challenges to thinking that psychology was the problem, to now making hundreds of thousands of dollars from the market and being max funded with FTMO and even having reached a scale-up program with them. The reality is I've been in your shoes, and today I want to give you the full blueprint that I would give you, that I would give my younger self in order to get funded still this year. And yes, I mean it when I say this year. I believe that anyone asking the right questions can get funded this year, no matter if you are a beginner or an advanced trader. I'm also going to be talking about my Phoenix protocol, which is something that I've never shared publicly, and I do believe that this is what a lot of people need right now. So if the goal is to get funded this year, then this is the video to watch. And so let's go straight into number one, which is asking the right questions. One of the things that I've understood about trading, and I do teach this to my students, is that there is an edge in asking the right questions. And we have something inside of Funded Trading Blueprint which is called the inquiry edge, which is about asking the right questions in order to get the right answers. Why? Because no matter how right the answer might be, if the question is wrong, then you already failed. And let me give you a ridiculous example just to prove my point. If you are trying to become a profitable trader, you're not going to ask me about how to grow tomatoes, right? I can give you the right answer, but it's not going to help you in your journey. So the inquiry edge is about asking the right questions at the right time in your current situation. And the reason I mention asking the right questions is because profitability, being a profitable trader, point blank have a profitable edge, is the number one most important thing you should focus on for the next 3 to 6 months in order to get profitable by the end of the year, right? A lot of people right now do not have a profitable edge, yet they are still trying to go for prop firm accounts. That will never work. And even if it does, again, it's not going to get you to a payout. It requires consistency. Now, when it comes to finding a profitable edge, you can go multiple ways. Everything is for free online. Believe me. Every single course you might buy out there, be it trading, be it anything else, you have this information for free online. The reason you would pay is because this is condensed information and it's more tailored to you, right? But there's a lot of free information online. For example, the first link in the description is going to be an over 1 hour long video teaching you how to get funded on a technical basis and risk management, which we will talk about in one single video, over 1 hour long. So everything is for free online. But I also have the option of the paid route, which is Funded Trading Blueprint. And what you get with that is basically live streams, is daily market breakdown. So you have a much more tailored approach, much more hands-on approach from myself. Like I'm basically taking your hand through the day to show you how to become profitable, what I'm looking for in the market, so you can compare your analysis with my analysis. But again, I understand why people wouldn't want to pay, and that's fine. What I want you to understand is that you're always paying. It's either with money or with time. And what I mean by that is that if you want to go the free route, it might take you a little bit longer to become funded or even to get profitable. Let's say it takes you 3 years to get funded by learning by yourself, learning from your mistakes, learning the technicals, learning the psychology, or you pay someone and it takes you 1 year. All of a sudden, how much is that 2-year gap worth it? That's basically what I always ask myself. I always went the paid route, but I understand why people don't go the paid route. And again, you have all of the information you need online. There's nothing hugely secretive in these sort of communities, besides the fact that you're getting your hand held by mentor and the coaches and so on. But again, that is the number one thing. This should be your number one focus. If you do not have a profitable edge, there's no reason at all for you to go for a prop firm account. Therefore, you're not going to get funded. It's as simple as that. If you can't prove it through backtesting, then you have nothing. Basically, that's one of the things that I would keep in mind. It's very, very important to have a profitable edge, no matter where you get it from, no matter if you pay someone or you get it for free online, which again, if you check the first link, it's going to be a video. It's not going to take you out of this platform. It's going to be a video over 1 hour long. Now, this is something that I hone in on asking the right questions because it takes us to the next point, which is a lot of traders ask, how can I get funded? Or how can I be a profitable trader? How can I take a profitable trade? But that's the wrong question for 99% of traders. I can tell you how I execute and how I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars from the market, but it's not going to help you. Why? Because the question was wrong. The number one thing you have to focus on is, how can I predict the direction of the market consistently? Once you do that, your results will absolutely skyrocket. Once you are able to master the direction of the market, your results will absolutely skyrocket. So again, you can see how asking the wrong question is already leading you to the results that you have right now. When I tell you, and I tell this to my students, the right question is, how can I forecast the direction consistently? That's the number one question. How can I forecast the direction consistently? And that's where you go to the price mapping, to the blueprint protocol, so on and so forth. But again, master the direction. That's the number one thing you should focus on right now. And the second part is obviously going to be execution. But it's important to understand, if you don't master the direction, you won't have right execution, right? So that's what I want you to keep in mind. Next, once you have a profitable edge, you need to master risk management. If you're not able to manage risk, every time you get into drawdown, you blow the account. Every time you get into profit, but you get a couple of losing trades, you blow the account. Anything that happens, you just end up blowing the account because you don't have good risk management. For that, we have like a full risk engine that has gotten dozens of traders funded just over this year already. But either way, understanding risk management is extremely crucial. How does the number of trades that you take per week affect the amount you are risking per trade, right? How does the time that you want to spend on a challenge affect how much you are risking per trade? Understanding all of these things is very, very important. And by the way, I do talk a lot about this already in previous videos about risk management for prop firms, and if I'm not mistaken, I also mentioned that in the 1 hour long video, that you need to have a set risk management, that you understand how much you are risking every single trade before actually going ahead and buying a challenge and trying to pass it. If you don't understand direction, execution, risk management, you should not be buying a challenge. Point blank, I don't care. Even worse, if for example you are trading NASDAQ, which I've been doing a lot recently, and one of the things that people don't know is that there's different contract sizes between different prop firms. So for example, on Funded Next, if I buy one lot, I'm actually buying 10 times NASDAQ, while on FTMO, 10 lots is the same, right? Because the contract value is different. So understanding risk management, all of the components of risk management, is extremely, extremely important. Now, once you understand direction, execution, and risk management, I believe that now you are ready to go for a prop firm challenge. Now, this is where you should be paying close attention to your psychology, because with challenges, there's one thing that happens, and this happened to me a lot. I used to blow a lot of challenges because of exactly this, which is once you start a challenge, your expectation is to win, right? So once you enter in a losing trade, now you're already in a bad mindset. You enter in another losing trade, and even worse, all of a sudden you're in -3% and you believe that this challenge is now blown, therefore I'm just gonna blow it either way, right? And so there's something I call the expectation gap, which basically means that emotion equals reality minus expectation. The higher the expectations you have, the harder reality is going to hit you, because again, every time that you believe that you're going to pass this prop firm challenge, that your expectation is, I am going to pass, every time you go into a little bit more drawdown, it's a bigger gap between your expectation, your goal of passing this challenge, and the reality, which is you're getting into drawdown. So you're getting further away from your goal, and that's where you're going to have a lot of negative emotion. And that's why we have something called the gap control system. Everything that is in terms of trading psychology that I've talked about here on YouTube is extremely, extremely important. And the number one goal is, every time that you enter in a trade, expect that trade to be a loser. And the way you do that is you look for all of the reasons why this trade is going to be a loser. Because no matter how great a trade looks, there's always a reason why this trade could be a loser. Maybe it's a daily, maybe it's the 1 hour, maybe it's the 4 hour. I don't know. You tell me, every time you enter in a trade, why could it be a loser? Imagine I'm by your side, you're taking a trade, and you're like, hey Kimmel, I think this trade is going to be a winner because of this, 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 and this. And I'm like, okay, Now, tell me why this trade is going to be a loser. What are all of the things against this trade? You need to know these things because it's going to reduce the gap between your expectations and reality. Because if you already understand that this trade can be a loser, then all of a sudden expectation and reality are going to be pretty close. If they do become a loser, therefore, you're not going to have as many emotions. That's one of the most important things for you to keep in mind. And this is where we go into the last point, which is the Phoenix protocol. And this is where I believe a lot of people are struggling with right now is if you're watching this and let's say you failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 prop firm challenges and you haven't gotten funded and you haven't gotten a payout. I believe that something that I call the Phoenix protocol is extremely important. What I call this Phoenix protocol is go into your past, learn from all of your mistakes, write them down, understand what you can't do over and over again, and then work on fixing that, and then you come back and you come back stronger. You come back with the right expectations, with the right technical knowledge, with the right psychology knowledge, and then you are able to crush it and get funded still this year. Listen, I believe in you. I 100,000% believe in you. I believe that anyone watching this can get funded this year. Again, you just need the right inquiry edge. You need to ask the right questions to get the right answers back. And by asking the right questions, you will get the right answers and eventually you will get funded. Listen, I struggled a lot in my first 3 years of trading. I was break even for 1 year. I was negative for 2 years. I didn't make any money. And now I've been able to turn my life completely around because of trading. And now I've been able to make great money from the markets, right? I'm max funded with FTMO. I've scaled up. I have multiple other funded accounts. And this is coming from someone that actually recorded their whole journey. You can go back to my first video and see the unprofitable camel right there. And now I have multiple videos to help you get funded. You can check the first link in the description. It's gonna take you to my full guide on getting funded. And if you believe that the paid route is the best for you, then we have Funded Trading Blueprint, where you're going to learn about the Phoenix protocol. You'll have the risk engine. You'll understand the gap control system, the inquiry edge, price mapping, everything is in there. All of our frameworks are in there. And if you want to increase your chances of getting funded, then I do recommend Funded Trading Blueprint because we've gotten so many traders funded. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch my full 1-hour guide on getting funded, it's going to be this video right here or the first link in the description. If you want to check out one of my favorite prop firms, you have Funded Next right here. And if you want to check out Trade Blocker, the link is going to be in the description. Hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.